Hey there, Stampers. It's Jen Pitta with By the Shore Stamping. Welcome in for another edition of Teach Me Tuesday. Today's video is actually highlighting a stamp set that's retiring, and it's, I think, one of the ones that really gets lost in the catalog. I'm really going to miss it. I just found it again recently after playing with it a lot when I first got it. We did this card in card class a few weeks ago, and it was such a big hit, and it's very simple, but it's so powerful, and this stamp set is pretty much the reason why, because it's just such a fun two-step stamping. So you get to layer on the different colors and add all sorts of detail to these little butterflies, and it makes such a great impact. So let's go ahead and get started. I think I'm going to kind of surprise you a little bit. If you were in card class a couple of weeks ago, you'll recognize the card, but for those of you that were not, I'm going to let you be surprised today. So I'm using a crumb cake card base. Surprise, surprise. Funny that I do that, right? So it measures 5.5 by 8.5, and then I'm just going to fold it in half, the side folds. And then I'm going to take the little dots image from the stamp set, and I'm going to take crumb cake ink. Again, what a surprise. And I am going to just make a pattern on the front of the card. So because this is a photopolymer card, or a photopolymer stamp, sorry, it's going to be very easy for me to kind of line this up. And it doesn't have to be exact because we're going to cover a lot of it. And I say this is going to be very easy before I remember that I have a camera in front of me, so it's kind of hard to get my big head where I would normally put it so that I could line things up. But so far, so good. I'm just lining the dots up so that I can get them lined up right underneath, and I must say I'm pretty impressed with myself right now because this is pretty good. Okay, so that looks about good. Maybe one more. I'm going to do one more down here. All right, and I just whacked the camera with my head, so hopefully that didn't just shake the camera, but this new photo mount that I have seems to work much better than the old one, so hopefully that was still pretty stable. I'm also going to put a greeting on here right onto the front of the card. So I'm using Just For You because I always need some generic cards for thank you cards, which I must say I am very far behind on, so I apologize. If you've ordered from me in the last month probably, I haven't got them all out, so I apologize. It's been a really busy month, but it's all good. That's actually why I'm so late today with my video, because I was kind of chilling for the last couple of days. So after weeks and weeks of go, 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 I just kind of let myself relax a little bit, but I got a little too relaxed today and didn't get my video done. So that was an occupational hazard, or a non-occupational hazard, I guess, as it goes today, because I'm not really working. All right, so next up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the butterflies. So this is where you can really get creative. I'm actually just using 2 shades of green. You can use any shades of colors. So you want 3 different colors actually, but I'm going to use the Lemon Lime Twist twice. I'm going to stamp off on the first one so you get the lighter color, and then I'm going to go over it again direct to the paper so you get the little bit darker, and then use this for the detail. But you could do 3 different shades of green, you could do 3 totally different colors, you could do 3 shades of blue or 3 shades of pink, or whatever you wanted to do, which is why this stamp set is so much fun to play with, because the options are just limitless. So if you don't own this one, you may want to consider it because it is really, really fun. So I'm going to take the solid image butterfly first, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink that up in the Lemon Lime Twist. Now I'm going to actually stamp this off first because I don't want it full first generation on the piece of paper I'm actually going to use. I want it second generation because I want it to be light. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so you get the lighter color green, and it does have some distressing in the ink, in the actual stamp itself, so those little marks there are intentional, so don't panic about that. I'm now going to take the next layer of this stamp, so I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this in the video, but it's just, the stamp part is actually just these little edges, and that's like kind of the detail on the wing. So this time I'm going to go direct from the ink pad to my paper. So I'm just going to line this up as best as I can without bonking the camera again. And straight down, straight up. Oh, and I caught this little middle, but don't worry about that because we're going to chop that right out. So I'm not even going to care that I did that. See, it happens to the best of us, right? Even the so-called professional. Just happens. It's just part of the deal. And we can fix it. I will promise you that. So now I'm going to take Tranquil Tide, which is a darker green, and I'm going to take the detail butterfly. So this is really going to do the detail part for me. So you can see there's little polka dots here and here. So this is kind of the last layer I'm going to add on. And you could stamp off on this. I'm actually going to use this full strength, and this one's a little bit trickier to get, but because I can't go right over it. Nah, not bad. That looks good. Okay, so there is my butterfly. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this out with the Big Shot, but let me just show you, because these are retiring too. Where did those little pink dots come from? That's interesting. Maybe my, oh, I think it came from my finger. Alrighty then. Good thing we're cutting that out. Okay, so there's 2 sets of framelits in the current catalog that's retiring at the end of May that work beautifully with this stamp set. The first one is called Butterflies Thinlits, and this one has this gorgeous, look at how pretty this is. This is a detail butterfly die. And then there's this one as well, which is another detail. This one makes beautiful, cut it out of glimmer paper or vellum, and it's just gorgeous. I'm really gonna miss these two. And then there's this one that's a smaller cutout that goes with this smaller butterfly. It doesn't look like it fits, but it actually fits the full size. This is just a smaller image, so it will actually perfectly cut out that smaller one. So that's called Butterflies Thinlits dies, and those detail dies in there are gorgeous. They are a must-have if you don't have those in your arsenal. And then the second set that actually coordinates with this is the Bold Butterfly stamp set, which has a smaller detail one, which is fun. And then it also has this large solid butterfly, which is the one we're going to use to cut out the one we just stamped. So let me grab my Big Shot, and we're going to plop this in here. I need to get some new mats here. They're really, really warped. So it's time to fix that. We used them a lot at Creative Escape to emboss the gable boxes, which were a little bit thicker. And so that really warped most of my cutting mats. So I definitely need to grab some more. So I'm just lining this up on the cutting mat with my Big Shot platform and the thin die adapter. And then I'm going to put this on top. I'm going brave. I'm not using the magnetic one. I'm just using the regular one, which it should be fine. Okay, so then let me move this out of the way. So put this away. This is such a handy little tool in the craft room if you don't have one of those. I love that. Okay, so now you can see this just pops right out, and we have our butterfly. Now you'll notice the little body in the middle. I didn't stamp that ahead of time because I actually find it's easier to do it after the fact, because if you stamp it first and then you don't get the body exactly where it needs to go for the cutout, it will not line up right anyway. So I've just found personally that the body is easier to stamp since it's clear anyway after you cut it out. I'm a little off, but it's okay. It works. Nobody's going to notice that all too much. So next up, we're going to take that card base we had. Oh, and one more thing first. I am going to grab my mini dimensionals because these work really great for this butterfly. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and grab some Wink Stella. Love this stuff. And I'm going to add some glitter to this just because I can. And I just think butterflies should be pretty and glittery. This is another must-have. Look at this. I hope this is showing up on the camera because this must be a pretty new Wink Stella. It's coming out so pretty, so glittery. I love when that happens. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some nice glitz and glam to my little butterfly. So fun. Okay, almost done here. I could get carried away and do the whole dang thing because it's just so fun. It's like painting your nails. You just kind of paint it on there. And I'm going to pick it up so you guys can see it hopefully in the camera. I'm not sure if it's picking up just when I was coloring, but can you see that at all? I can't really see if you can or not because the camera thing is in the way, but hopefully you can see a little bit of that glitz and glamour. So fun. I actually think I'm going to add a little more in the middle too. Put a little on his body just to make him stand out a little bit. There we go. Okay, next up, I'm going to grab a couple of my mini dimensionals, and I'm actually going to put these on the back side of the body of the butterfly. Put 3 of those here. And that will kind of allow me to make him fly off the page. So pull those backings off. And then I'm going to stick that right in the middle here. And there you have your little flying butterfly. Isn't that fun? So simple. You could actually add some pearls or something in there too if you wanted. I'm actually all out of pearls, and they've been on back order for a little bit, but they are back in stock, but that would be a great addition to this card. I just don't happen to have any at the moment. Shocking. It's been a while since I've had any in stock, so I need to get those. So that is my super simple card today. This stamp set is seriously tons of fun. You can find some great color combinations, steal them from the catalog. You can look on Pinterest. You can obviously steal mine. Again, that was Lemon Lime Twist and Tranquil Tide, and of course Crumb Cake. So it's just a really, really super fun card to kind of play with, and you could make multiples of, but do different colors, and it would look like a different card each time because the butterflies would be so different. So thanks so much for watching today. It was a real quickie one for you this afternoon. Or this evening, I should say. I'm very grateful that you're watching for me today, and I hope you have a great week, and we'll catch you next week for Teach Me Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would appreciate it. Have a great week. We'll see you soon.